What if I told you that everything you've ever been taught about making money is wrong? Are you tired of the hustle? Working harder and harder but never really getting ahead? What if the constant stress and exhaustion weren't a requirement for success, but a symptom that you're going about it all wrong? Today, we're not talking about financial tips. We're going to dismantle the hidden operating system in your mind that is secretly rejecting the very wealth you're trying to build. Let's start with a little experiment. Right now, I want you to just close your eyes for a second and notice the feeling that comes up when you hear the words money or wealth. For many of us, it's a feeling of tension, a sense of struggle, scarcity. It's something that has to be chased, fought for, and acquired. It's an uphill battle. Now, let's change just one word. What feeling comes up when you hear the word blessing? Take a moment to really feel that difference. Receiving a blessing. It feels lighter, doesn't it? It feels like a natural flow, something to be grateful for, something that comes to you, not something you have to wrestle to the ground. This isn't just a word game. This is the key to unlocking your subconscious resistance. For generations, we've been programmed with stories about money, that it's hard to get, that it requires immense sacrifice, that it might even make you a worse person. But these stories, these deep-seated beliefs, have built a wall inside of us, a wall of resistance that unconsciously pushes away the very abundance we say we want. When you start to think in terms of blessings, that wall begins to crumble. A blessing isn't just financial, it's your health, a loving relationship, a moment of profound peace, a sudden spark of joy. Wealth and blessings are the same energy, but your mind is far more open to receiving one than the other. So this is your first task. Start this mental reframe. True abundance is like oxygen. It's everywhere, all around us, all the time. The only thing that stops us from getting it is unconsciously holding our breath. Our limiting beliefs about money are the act of holding our breath. When you shift from chasing money to receiving blessings, you stop holding your breath. You relax. You open up. And then, something truly magical happens. Blessings begin to appear in practical ways. One of the very first things you'll notice is the arrival of better ideas. You could be doing the same job you've always done, following the same routine, but suddenly, an idea will spark. A more efficient way to work, a new service to offer, a simple solution to a problem that's been nagging you for years. This idea doesn't come from working harder. It comes because your new belief system has opened a channel for it to arrive. You've created space for inspiration. Another fascinating thing happens. Old efforts, projects you wrote off as failures, can suddenly bear fruit. A person from your past might call with an opportunity related to something you did years ago. A forgotten proposal might get a second look. Why? Not because the work changed, but because you changed. You've changed the soil of your mind, and the seeds you planted long ago can finally grow. This is the foundation. Stop seeing wealth as a battle and start seeing it as a blessing. But how far can this simple shift really take you? Is it just a feel-good idea? Or can it produce dramatic real-world results that defy all conventional logic? Let's go deeper. Once you start embracing this blessing mindset, you'll find your intuition sharpens dramatically. You'll just know who to talk to, which projects to pursue, and which ones to let go of. You'll find yourself in the right place at the right time, meeting the right people. Skeptics call this luck or coincidence. But it's not. You are aligning your personal frequency with the frequency of opportunity. It's like tuning a radio. Before, you were tuned to the static of scarcity and struggle. Now, you're tuned to the clear channel of abundance, and the signals are coming through loud and clear. Think about it. Has there ever been a time when you had a gut feeling about something, ignored it, and later regretted it? Or a time you followed a hunch, and it led to an amazing outcome? That's your intuition, your internal guidance system. By seeing the world through the lens of blessings, you're cleaning the lens of that system. You'll start to notice synchronicities everywhere. You'll think of a friend, and they'll call you. You'll need a specific skill, and the next day you'll meet someone who has it. The universe begins to conspire in your favor because you are no longer fighting against its natural flow. This shift also transforms your relationships, which are a huge source of our wealth, both financial and emotional. When you operate from a place of struggle, you might see people as competition or as stepping stones. This creates tense, transactional relationships. But But when you see life as a series of blessings, you start to see the good in others. You approach interactions with generosity and openness, not with a hidden agenda. People feel this. They are drawn to this energy. Collaboration becomes effortless. People will want to help you, to work with you, to share opportunities with you. Not because they have to, but because they genuinely want to. Your network expands, not through forced networking, but through authentic connection. Now let's talk about the big one. Unexpected financial windfalls. This is where it can feel truly miraculous. When you are fully aligned with the energy of receiving, money can and will show up in the most unexpected ways. An old debt might be repaid out of the blue. You might discover a forgotten investment has grown in value. An inheritance you never knew about could come to light. These things sound like lottery wins, but they happen more often than you think to people who are vibrationally open to receiving. The universe has infinite ways to deliver abundance, but it can only deliver it to an open address. Your belief system is that address. If your address is 123 Straga Street, that's the mail you'll get. If you change your address to 777 Blessing Boulevard, you're going to get a very different kind of delivery. This isn't about sitting on the couch and waiting for checks to fall from the sky. You still take action, but the action is different. It's inspired action, not desperate action. It feels easy, joyful, and aligned. You do the work because you love it, because it feels right, not because you're terrified of not having enough. The energy behind your actions determines the results you get. Action from a place of fear creates more situations to be fearful about. Action from a place of gratitude and trust creates more to be grateful for. So, how do you make this change permanent? It starts with daily practice. Every morning, before you even check your phone, take a minute to list 3 things you can receive as blessings that day. It could be the warmth of the sun, a hot cup of coffee, a smile from a stranger. Start small. Throughout the day, consciously reframe challenges. Instead of saying, "Oh no, this bill is so high," try saying, "I am grateful. I have the resources to handle this." More blessings are on their way. Every time you spend money, do so with a feeling of gratitude, not lack. Thank the money for serving you and send it on its way to bless others, knowing that it will return to you multiplied. This isn't a quick fix. It's a fundamental reprogramming of your entire being. You are unlearning a lifetime of conditioning. There will be days when the old fears and doubts creep back in. That's okay. Just gently guide your thoughts back to blessings, back to receiving, back to the truth that you are worthy of all the abundance the universe has to offer. The wall of resistance didn't go up in a day, and it won't come down in a day. Start today. Start now. What is one thing, right in this moment, that you can acknowledge as a blessing? It could be the device you're watching this on, the ability to hear these words, the very breath in your lungs. Start there. The journey to wealth isn't a chase. It's an awakening. Now, we move from theory to proof. An abstract idea is nice, but a real-world example is what makes it undeniable. So today, I want to tell you a story. It's a story of a close friend of mine, a story that completely changed how I see success, wealth, and work itself. My friend was the classic entrepreneur, smart, driven, and a true believer in the power of hard work. For years, he operated on the formula that most of us are taught is the only way to succeed. More work equals more money. His business was a perfect reflection of that belief. From the outside, it looked like a major success story. He had a team of over 30 people. He was renting 3 separate offices. The company was growing, but whenever we would talk, I could sense the immense pressure he was under. He confessed to me once, late at night, that he felt trapped. He said, "It feels like I'm running on a treadmill that's going faster and faster. If I stop running for even a second, the whole thing will fly off the rails." The weight of payroll, the overhead, the constant problem solving, it was draining him. And here's the paradox. The idea of expanding the business, which should have been exciting, was actually terrifying to him. Why? Because in his mind, the formula was locked in. More growth equals more stress. More success meant even less time, less freedom, and less life. His subconscious was actively resisting the very thing he was consciously fighting for, because it associated growth with pain and burnout. He was caught in the hustle trap, and then he had his turning point. It didn't come from a business book or a seminar. It came from a simple observation. He started looking at nature. He noticed how a giant tree grows effortlessly, how planets move through space without any strain. He started to question everything. He asked himself, what if the universe is designed for flow, not for struggle? What if my core belief that more work equals more money is the very thing holding me and my business hostage? So he decided to run a radical experiment. He was going to deliberately do the opposite of what every business guru would tell you to do. He wasn't going to scale up. He was going to simplify. He started by letting go of the need to control everything. He downsized his team to a core, essential group. He closed the extra offices. From the outside, people who heard about it probably thought his business was failing. They saw him shrinking, when, in reality, he was focusing his power. For the first time in years, he felt a sense of peace and clarity. And that's when the magic began. The business didn't shrink. It began to expand. But this time it was healthy and organic, with less complexity. The quality of their work skyrocketed. The right ideas began to flow to him effortlessly. And the right people, incredibly talented individuals, began to show up, wanting to be a part of it. The results were beyond anything he could have imagined. The business that once required over 30 people and a mountain of stress to maintain now runs more effectively and more joyfully. And here's the part of his story that still gives me chills. That business is now, by any measure you can use, impact, revenue, or global reach, at least 50 times larger than it was at its most complicated, stressful peak. Let that sink in. The business grew 50 times over, while the effort, the stress, and the overhead were reduced by over 90%. So what happened? He didn't find a magic business tactic. He didn't work 50 times harder. He did something much more profound. He changed his fundamental beliefs about how success is created. He unplugged from the hustle matrix and plugged into the universal flow of ease and abundance. This isn't just his story. This is a story about a universal principle. The same energy that was holding his business back might be the same energy holding you back from a promotion, from attracting better clients, or from simply feeling a sense of financial peace. So we've established the concept. The question is, how do you make this repeatable for yourself? What was the tool that my friend used to unlock this shift? What was the question he started asking that changed everything? To understand the tool, you must first understand the law behind it. The universe is always guiding you. Think of your dominant thoughts and beliefs as a homing beacon. The universe doesn't judge the signal you're broadcasting. It simply responds by guiding you toward more of the same. If your beacon is set to struggle, scarcity, and life is hard, you will be guided to experiences, people, and circumstances that confirm that reality. It's the law of resonance. This is why changing your outer world without changing your inner world is impossible. To attract true abundance, you must change the signal you are sending. You must move from "I need this" to survive, to "I am a creator of value and blessings." So, how do you actively change that signal, especially when you're facing challenges? It comes down to one simple, profound tool, a question that I ask myself constantly, every single day, and that has been the catalyst for every breakthrough in my life. Instead of staring at a problem and asking, "Why is this so hard?" or "How can I possibly work harder to solve this?" you must ask a better question. You must ask this: how can this become even easier? This question is a command to your subconscious mind and a request to the universe. It does two powerful things instantly. First, it completely bypasses the victim mentality. It assumes that an easier way must exist. Second, it forces your creative mind to start searching for that easier way. It shifts your entire focus from the problem to the possibility. This isn't about being lazy. It is about being intelligent. It's about aligning with the natural flow of the universe, which always follows the path of least resistance. Let's make this practical. Are you stressed about a bill you have to pay? Instead of panicking, take a breath and ask, how can this become even easier? An idea might pop into your head to sell something you no longer need, or to contact the company for a payment plan. Are you overwhelmed with a project at work? Instead of just working longer hours, ask, how can this become even easier? You might realize you can delegate a task, use a piece of software to automate it, or simply eliminate an unnecessary step. Feeling stuck in your career? Instead of just sending out resumes blindly, ask, how can my path forward become even easier? You might suddenly think of a friend you haven't spoken to in years who works in your dream industry. Your outer world is a mirror of your inner world. You don't fix a broken reflection by fighting with the mirror. You change what the mirror is reflecting, your own state of being. Your journey to wealth is not a battle to be fought. It is a transformation to be experienced, one that happens within your mind. The game isn't about working harder. It is about believing smarter and asking better questions. So here is your challenge. For the next 7 days, I want you to make this question your mantra. Write it down. Put it on your desk. Set a reminder on your phone. Every time you feel stress, resistance, or overwhelm, stop and ask, how can this become even easier? Then, listen. The answers will surprise you, and they will change your life. It's the start of your new reality, a reality where you are not a victim of circumstance, but a conscious creator of your life, aligned with a universe that is designed for flow and abundance. Thank you for joining me. Now go out and start asking the right question. And when you start seeing results, come back and share them in the comments below. I can't wait to hear your stories.